Today, I want to talk about something that touches every one of us, the challenges we face in our interactions with others. Life is a journey filled with moments that test our patience, challenge our beliefs, and sometimes threaten our inner peace. Among these moments, few are as draining as encounters with individuals whose words and actions seem designed to provoke, unsettle, and disturb. These are the moments when we find ourselves entangled in arguments that drain our energy, cloud our minds, and pull us away from our spiritual center. But what if I told you that we have the power to rise above these conflicts? That we can choose peace over chaos, love over anger, and faith over fear? Today, I invite you to explore the profound wisdom of releasing the need to argue with troubled souls, drawing inspiration from the teachings of Father Gabriele Amorth, a renowned exorcist and author of An Exorcist Tells His Story, and the spiritual insights found in the Lost Prayer by Father Gabriel. Understanding the nature of spiritual warfare, Father Gabriele Amorth dedicated his life to understanding the spiritual battles that occur within and around us. He taught that evil often seeks to disrupt our harmony by using individuals as instruments of discord. These individuals may not even be aware of the negative forces influencing their behavior. Their actions, though hurtful, are often a manifestation of their own inner turmoil and spiritual struggles. In the Lost Prayer, Father Gabriel expands on this idea. He writes, "Evil does not always come with a roar. Sometimes it whispers. It plants seeds of doubt, anger, and division in the hearts of men, turning them into unwitting agents of chaos. When we encounter hostility or provocation, it's important to recognize that it's not merely a personal attack. It's often a reflection of a deeper spiritual battle. This understanding allows us to respond with compassion rather than anger, with wisdom rather than emotion. Father Gabriel reminds us, to discern is to see with the eyes of the soul. It is to look beyond the surface and perceive the hidden struggles that lie beneath. When we discern the true source of conflict, we can choose not to engage in futile arguments that only drain our energy and entrap us in a cycle of negativity. The power of silence and prayer. One of the most powerful tools we have in navigating these challenges is the practice of silence and prayer. Father Amorth witnessed the transformative power of these practices in his ministry. He taught that when faced with hostility, choosing silence over confrontation can be an act of profound strength. It reflects a trust in a higher power to bring clarity and resolution. In the Lost Prayer, Father Gabriel draws our attention to the example of Christ, who often responded to his accusers with silence. He writes, "In the face of false accusations and mockery, Jesus chose not to defend himself. His silence was not a sign of weakness, but of divine authority. It was a silence that spoke louder than words, a silence that disarmed his enemies and revealed the truth. Silence allows us to step back from the heat of the moment and respond from a place of calm and clarity. It creates space for God to work in our hearts and in the hearts of those who oppose us. And then there's prayer. Father Amorth called prayer the most powerful weapon we have in our spiritual arsenal. It fortifies our spirit, protects us from harm, and opens the door to divine intervention. In the Lost Prayer, Father Gabriel shares a powerful prayer that he describes as a lost treasure of the Church. This prayer, rediscovered in an ancient manuscript, is said to have the power to dispel darkness and bring peace to troubled hearts. He writes, "When we pray this prayer with faith, we invite the light of Christ into our lives and into the lives of those around us. It is a prayer that heals, protects, and transforms. So, when faced with conflict, let us turn to silence and prayer. Let us trust in the power of God to bring peace where there is chaos and light where there is darkness." Setting boundaries with love. Another important lesson from Father Amorth and Father Gabriel is the importance of setting boundaries to protect our spiritual well-being. This doesn't mean abandoning those who are struggling, but rather loving them from a distance when necessary. Father Gabriel writes, "To love someone does not mean to allow them to harm us. True love seeks the good of the other, but it also seeks to protect the sanctity of our own soul. Setting boundaries is an act of love, both for ourselves and for the other person. When we refuse to engage in toxic interactions, we create an opportunity for the other person to reflect on their behavior and seek healing. Embracing forgiveness and letting go. One of the most challenging but liberating teachings is the practice of forgiveness. Holding on to resentment binds us to the very negativity we seek to escape. Forgiveness is not about condoning harmful behavior, but releasing its hold over our hearts. In the Lost Prayer, Father Gabriel writes, "Forgiveness is the key that unlocks the prison of the soul. It is the act of letting go of the pain that binds us and choosing to walk in the freedom of God's love. When we forgive, we free ourselves from the chains of past hurts and open the door to healing and reconciliation. Cultivating inner peace through faith. Finally, both Father Amorth and Father Gabriel remind us that true peace comes from a deep and abiding faith. Trusting in the divine plan allows us to navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience." Father Gabriel writes, "When we trust in God, we no longer need to control every outcome. We can rest in the knowledge that He is working all things for our good. When we center our lives around spiritual principles, we become less susceptible to the turmoil stirred by others. Our faith becomes an anchor, grounding us amidst the storms of interpersonal conflict." Conclusion: choosing the path of peace. In conclusion, my friends, we have the power to choose peace over conflict. By understanding the spiritual dimensions of our interactions, embracing silence and prayer, setting loving boundaries, practicing forgiveness, and cultivating a deep faith, we can rise above the provocations of troubled souls. Let us commit to this path, not only for our own well-being, but as a testament to the transformative power of spiritual wisdom. As we journey through life, may we always remember the words of Father Gabriel in the Lost Prayer. In the midst of darkness, we are called to be bearers of light. In the face of chaos, we are called to be instruments of peace. And in the presence of evil, we are called to stand firm in the power of God's love. Thank you